This is Damon Stevens with Federal Billers. Today is Monday, December 13th, 2021, and this is stock market update for trades of the day. So let's get right into it and see what's going on in this market. Look at the Dow Jones, it was down 0.89%, NASDAQ down 1.39%, and S&P 500 down 0.91%. So seen another down day here. So it's been a nice challenging roller coaster here lately in the market over the last several weeks here, and it continues to be so. Do we get to that year-end rally that most years we've seen? Still hard to say. Could obviously rally at the end of the month, but let's get in and see what's going on and see how we need to trade this market. Looking at the bank stocks, they were down. Technology was definitely down today. So was financials, but you can see that real estate, healthcare, and consumer defense was up. You can also say Facebook did well today as well. So there was some green, just not a whole lot of it today. Looking at our scanners, ARNA was one of the scans, and then FHTX. Now, our ARNA, I did not trade. It just went up, and it was just a flat, so it didn't do a whole lot. But let's look at some charts and see what we could have got out of today. So looking at FHTX, see here we had a low around $16. It bounced up, hit 1965. Just right at pre-market, and right before we hit the market, and you see it pulled back and came down to 1528 around by noon. But then here's your rally. Here's your rally you got during the day. So this rally started rallying up here towards the end of the day, and then obviously it gapped up in the after-hour session. So this was definitely an after-hours pre-market and post-market trade. So FHTX, I'm going to look for a trade hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully we can get some of this out of pre and post market and actually give it to some of our users here, some of the traders. So we'll see if we can get a rally back up tomorrow. But that was kind of the trade of the day. And unfortunately, people who don't have the ability to trade before and after the market probably missed the bulk of this trade today. Looking at earnings. You can see here that there's not a whole lot I'm watching this week. I might keep an eye on Lennar, Adobe, Accenture, FedEx, but other than that, not really focused on earnings this week. It's just kind of getting really light as we kind of wrap up earnings. But we'll look forward to the next round here in a while. Looking at Apple, you can see here a nice rally up here, but a pullback. So we hit that 180, we hit over 180, which we talked about hitting 180 and then possibly going up to 185, 190, hopefully up to 200. You see, we got a pullback right now. So we did hit resistance around that 182 mark, pull down to 176, just under there. So we'll see if we can get a pullback up there. We do have this, you can see here, this line here, I can pull down here too. This big old breakup candle. So it could be possible we could retrace this breakup candle because we are extended above 5 EMA. So just be aware of that. Hopefully keep this bullish rally going on Apple. That helps kind of bring the market up to AVGO, same thing. We have this nice, long, consistent run, which has been great. And then we got this big, huge spike today. And so a lot of good things happening with AVGO. But with this big spike, you can see that today we had a little pullback on that. Again, talking about the same thing with Apple, big old breakup candle. We could retrace some of this back down to the 5. So just be aware of that. It's very similar charting. Adobe, you can see here that we're trying to rally back up to resistance again. But see if we can get that momentum continue up to the north side. Amazon, continue to pull back and see here that we found support on the 200 here. And then back here in November. And so, just something to watch for, do we come back down and hit this again? It looks like there is some weakness. If we get below that 33.91, most likely come down to this 33.50 level. So we can bounce off of here. If we break through here, it's not going to be good. We have a trend line down here at 32.74, but that's a lot of lost momentum here. So we'll see if Amazon can pull this back out and hopefully find support here soon off that 200. Invax kind of flat. These kind of pulled back here. They started to rally, but then they just kind of died off here, kind of lost their momentum. So on these biotech stocks, see if they can get back above the moving averages. But for now, they're just kind of my holding list. Tesla, you can see it pull back here to a support line here, and just above this gap that we have, clear back here from October. And you see here that it pulled down again today, and we just tagged that line. So Tesla's not decided to go fill that gap down here towards that 100 moving average. Maybe it will tomorrow or this week, or it might bounce off of here. So just watching for momentum here to see, which direction Tesla's going to go. If it's going to come down here, this 900 area, 908, 99, 909 area, and fill that gap, or if it's going to, just bounce off of here again like it did before. The only thing that makes me show that, makes it show that maybe we will, is you see this candle. You see how the buyers came back in and bought this up here and we closed above the 50. We didn't do that this time. So the sellers came in and kept this driven down here below the 50. So it's a greater potential this could pull down and fill that gap. So just be aware of that with Tesla. Shopify pulling down as well, down towards this 200 and our moving average, our lower trend line here. So see if we can bounce off that. Is this a double bottom? Possibly. It'd be very much on a short-term basis, but it's possible. Go back to Tesla. Is this a double bottom? Possibly on a short-term time frame, but definitely need it to evolve into something more than that to rally off this and give us our rally. Looking at our common stocks, you can see here that bonds came down here, so find support here right on the 200. So just kind of pretty well flat for the day. The dollar trying to rally up here, but still within the that common trend that we've been running for a while. The VIX tried to bounce back up, not good. It got back over 20. If it continues to rally up over 20, we could see a pullback here. So just be careful. That SPY 466. So you see we pulled back here right to this 5. So are we consolidating here like we did before for a few weeks? Very likely possible. So we'll see if the SPY can hold that area up and hopefully rally back up towards highs. Same with triple Qs, pull back here. It's above the gap. That definitely pulled back here and kind of just consolidating again. Semiconductors, same thing, just kind of consolidating this just general range here. Dow Jones pull back as well. So we'll see here it's above the gap. So we'll just see if it can decide to fill that gap or what it decides to do. You can see the IWM pull back here. Now we have support down here at 213. So as long as there's a break 213, hopefully we can bounce off this and rally up here. But right now, IWM still looks very weak, which is affecting the small caps. Financials pulling back as well towards this 100. And you see we had some consolidation here. So it's possible we could fall back in this area. 3750, as long as we hold that, that's a good thing. Hopefully don't get down to 200. But seeing some weakness across the board, so that could be a sign of what's coming down the line. Gold trying to rally back up here. Got a lot of work to do though. All those moving averages are kind of clustered together, where the silver, you can see they're kind of spread apart. So we'll see what it can do. Bitcoin down here again towards our trend line here. Hopefully it can hold 47,000. If it can't, 4,200 is our next line, and you can see this big long wick that kind of checked in right there. So does it do that again? It's possible. DeFi, same thing. You see this big long wick here that I left. So is that where we're going to go test again at 240? Hard to say, but seeing the weakness here, hoping to hold support on that 50 and bounce off this area. Matic, same thing, just around that 50. So we're definitely seeing some weaknesses across the board in crypto. So if we can hold these levels, Luna holding above the 50 and get a bounce off, and hopefully we would have a rally across the whole market. It'd be great to have rally in our stocks and cryptos and across the board. I'm not seeing it yet, but hopefully we can turn it around and start to see a good rally here. But be careful out there. Be prepared for weakness. We're definitely seeing it right now. But the market could trick us too. And like Thanksgiving, typically Thanksgiving's quite weak. We had huge rallies in Thanksgiving weekend. So do we get that during the Christmas break for the US here? Hard to say, but just be careful out there. Watch the price action, watch the VIX, and watch the scanner. And that should give you some ideas on which direction the trades are going to go for the day. So we'll touch base tomorrow night, see how it went, and see what we can prepare for the rest of the week.